Well, good morning. So, we are on our final day of week 6, which is part 3 of chest, back, and shoulders. And I think we're getting into the point where we got to start making adjustments here pretty soon. You got to be a little patient, but at this point, for about a week straight, I have eaten the same calories. I've done roughly the same lifts. I've thrown in new stuff, kind of taken out a few things that I noticed that wasn't really helping. I think there was a day that I was pretty damn tired, and maybe I had cut a few sets short. Maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I don't think it would cause as much of effect as it's causing me. We have been either the same weight or having random spikes throughout the entire week, but not coming even close to a drop. So when something like this happens, a lot of people will freak out, and they'll either they'll quit, they'll just go, fuck it, it's not working, I don't want to do it anymore, because it's been 6 weeks, we've been doing this for a while. But another thing is that most of the time it comes down to, well, let me rephrase. Either they'll freak out, they'll quit, they don't want to do it anymore, or they'll go, okay, we're not going to eat any more food, because there's no possible way my body can hold this weight if I'm not having food. And that right there is the worst decision you can make. Do not cut another fucking 5, 6, sometimes 1,000 calories out of your diet because you're not dropping weight. It's only been a week. It's only a week. So what we're gonna do, we've got one more day here, and then we've got recovery. We've got to recover for a weekend. I'm going to go through the normal recovery process, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so that's an upper body day, a leg day, and another upper body day. If I don't see any change or it keeps going up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by just adding a little bit of extra steps. So maybe my body's getting used to 10,000 steps a day. And in all honesty, that could also be an issue, because this past week I have not hit my 10,000. I have gotten close. I'll hit 7,500, 9,000, 9,500, but I have not hit 10,000. So that could be affecting it. But I don't think it's affecting it that drastically the way, but there's a chance I could just not be thinking it through. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to up our steps just by 1,000 or 2, and then we're going to also recalculate our original calorie deficit, because we have dropped 5 pounds, and that, even though it's just 5 pounds, even though it's just water weight, you guys have got to remember that the heavier you are, the more weight, or the heavier you are, the more energy it requires for you to move. So if you're 400 pounds, it takes more energy to do this than if you're 210. It doesn't, it takes less energy. There's not as much mass to move. So as you drop 5 pounds, what we probably need to do, if we don't see any more change, and we're honestly getting close enough to there where we got to recalculate anyway, all we're going to do is take our body weight, multiply it by 13. That'll be we'll say 12. Let's do 12. We'll multiply it by 12. That'll be our maintenance calories, and then we will subtract 500 to 700 calories. Now, I don't think the 700 calorie thing is going to be a necessity. That's only if, we're having extreme issues or we're still gaining weight. And in all honesty, we may not even need to do the whole calculation thing. We may just need to take our original calories we have right now and just drop 100 calories out of it. And right now we're sitting at 2,200, which doesn't seem like a lot. But for me, I've done this long enough to realize how my metabolism works. I have trained my metabolism. I have manipulated my metabolism as much as I can. And it's just due to 20 years of horrible decisions. It definitely runs a little bit slower. I will say it doesn't run like at a diagnosis level slow, but I can confidently say that my body is pretty good at holding on to food. So it doesn't really require me a lot of food to build muscle or lose weight. I can build muscle with 2,800, 2,900, 3,100 calories at most. I've never gone above 3,100. Hell, and another thing is I can barely eat 3,100 in a day. I can't fucking do it. So with that said, we're sitting at, around 2,100 calories. All we'll drop it down to 2,000, probably see a small little change and wait for the next wall that we hit, and then maybe drop it again. I normally don't like going below the 2,000 range, but, I'm here to prove a point. I'm here to prove that, the system that I'm doing, it works. You don't have to be on enhancements to do it. And you can be a normal, average working person and do this. It's that simple. And you don't even have to do it to the extent that I'm doing it. The way I'm doing it is to the absolute extreme, in my opinion. You can minimalize it a little bit and still get the results that you're wanting. But my job is to prove to you guys that the program that I set up, which is it's not even my, personal program. This is a program that I've copied and adjusted for my own. What in the world is this person doing? But this is a program that I've copied and readjusted to my own liking, and then tested it out in the gym and kind of worked the quirks out of it. I didn't even come up with, and I'm talking about the actual lifting side of things, the actual lifts, the chest, back, and shoulders, the quads and triceps, and then the hamstrings and biceps, and 2 other upper body days. That's not me. I did not create that. But what I did was, the original program that I saw, I did not like a lot of the exercises, but I liked the concept of it. I liked the fact that I could take a full chest day and split it up 3 days, and I can work on something and actually put as much effort that I can into each exercise, instead of being, on my 4th or 5th chest exercise and I'm just, I don't want to do that. It's a waste of time. So, and that's my job, is to prove that it's going to work, and I think it's going to. I know it's going to. But yeah, remember, I'm still in the middle of a learning process. I've never gone into these kind of waters with how intense we're actually training, and how hard we're kind of pushing it, and very, very, very restricted, like very, very, restricted on what I'm doing, very strict on what I'm doing. So, but with that said, if this is my job, I've got to go to work. So, we are going to go and finish up week 6, and then get some recovery. I will be back Monday, and we are going to start up week 7. So, already week 7, so let's get it going. What the hell? Thought we had more to do. Well, we did. So here is what happened. Of course I'm not injured or anything like that, but I think this week just kind of put a toll on me a little bit. And in the middle of that lift, and kind of more of the start, even warming up, I started feeling something in my back. Nothing serious, but I've had so many back injuries before. I kind of know when to cut it off, just to be safe. And I think just after this week, you know, we've gone up in weight almost every day, and we've been training pretty damn hard. And I think my back is just, it's just there where it's like, all right, I need a break, man. I'm starting to wear out. So we're gonna cut off lifting a little bit early. I am not a big fan of doing that. I very rarely do it, but in scenarios like this, it's better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather be able to lift next week than finish today's lift and not be able to lift next week. You know what I mean? So I apologize. There is no post like posing room video or anything like that. I do apologize. But I think it also explains why maybe we haven't dropped as much weight this week, because it kind of makes sense. I've been extremely sore after day 2 of week 6, and I definitely noticed a lack of energy yesterday with hamstrings and biceps, and I definitely noticed this morning that everything is quite inflamed from like shoulders and back and my knees. Not in a really bad way, but when you start getting inflamed, there's 2 reactions you have. Either you just ignore it and you continue on with your day, or it kind of, or vice versa, it kind of ruins your entire day. But when you're inflamed, you tend to put on weight. It also causes stress. It causes a spike in cortisol levels. And being a high inflammation can be something that does cause you to hold on to water weight. And I think that's what's going on. So what we're going to do is we are going, luckily today was the last day of week 6. So it was kind of a poor ending for week 6. It kind of sucks. But we're going to rest and recover over the weekend. And then we're going to get back up on week 7. But I think we're not going to go down in weight, but I think we're going to go, I think we're just going to be a little bit more careful on going up in weight so quickly. Because, guys, we're on a cut. Going up in weight should not be the priority. In all honesty, I probably should cut down the weight and just get a little bit more reps in. That's what's going to help me, kind of burn more calories, probably retain more muscle to make sure we don't lose anything. But we still want to be training hard. So I got to find a nice little balance. And I think that's what week 7 is going to be all about. I think week 7 is going to be a little bit of trying to prevent inflammation and trying to prevent like extreme fatigue after even day 2. But we still want to train hard. So, but I think as of today, I think we're going to do a little bit of resting. I'm going to take my normal 2 days off, and then we're going to get back into it. Maybe drop the weight just a tad. The more and more I think about it, I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to drop the weight, go back to what we started at just a little bit, to prevent as much inflammation. But we're still going to train hard. So we may add another set. We may go up a little bit in reps, just lowering the weight, and just being careful what we're doing, because this past week we have gone up and everything, and I don't think that should be what we need to be doing. I think I was just kind of taking advantage of this extra energy that I had over the previous week of recovery, because I had a really good 2 days of recovery, and I think I shot out of those gates like a bat out of hell and went a little too hard. So with that said, I'm gonna leave you guys be. Once again, I do apologize. I'm not a big fan of cutting off lifts, but better safe than sorry. And we're gonna continue it next week, and hopefully we get back to dropping a little bit, trying to lean out some more, and see where we go from there. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend, and let's get week 6 rolling, man. We're getting there, or not week 6, week 7. God damn it. Let's get week 7 going. There we go. All right, see y'all.